obviously, it's almost like the season comes down to these games, big games.
Yeah, we said at the beginning of the week, we're in playoff mode now. There's no question. We didn't have the best weekend and maybe let some points slip away last weekend, and we got to redeem ourselves, and the schedule's in our favor. We're just maybe getting healthy in time to get some guys back here, hopefully, and if not for one or two, we should have some guys back, and the attitude's been good all week, so we control our own destiny, and we're able to do it on home ice.
I was going to say, how much does that make it in your favor?
Well, it's hard to win on the road in general, but I think this time of year when the games get tighter, I mean, we played a heck of a game in Wilkes-Barre against a very good team that plays very well in their building, and came out lost 1-0 in overtime. So again, it's not all negative from last week. Obviously, we had let some teams that get some points on us that we maybe shouldn't have. But if that game is any indication of what we're capable of doing on the road, we certainly should, at home, where we've had success all year, continue along those lines.
What kind of sense do you get from the guys? I mean, obviously they know what's at stake, not only this weekend, but down the stretch. What kind of sense do you get from them? I can't imagine you have to tell them much.
No, we had a meeting at the beginning of the week. I think the biggest thing is just not carrying over the frustration from last week and not having a lot of guys with too much experience in this. I think the biggest thing we convey, and I think we try and convey to our leadership to pass right down, is just to relax. And if this is it's not just another game, but you want to play to your strengths. You want to play with confidence and play with composure. I think guys you've sensed a lot of these games the last even couple of weeks. You can sometimes even in Adirondack you can cut the tension with a knife in the first period when we we give up a shorthanded goal, and you like the sense of urgency, you like the desperation, but you also can't let it affect your play. And I think that's really playoff hockey, and what we run into is facing some teams that are certainly below us in the standings, but they got hungry guys that are trying to make an impression, and we were in this situation last year, and we knocked off a couple teams. So you got to keep that in mind, or certainly we have a lot more to play for than some of the teams we're facing, and I think that can be a dangerous recipe. But I think if we just stick to the process that we've done all year and insert our energy and our skill and play our game and dictate the play, we'll be fine.
Talk about the tension in Adirondack, and do you see a change between this week and last week, just in the room and the guys' approach?
Well, we've talked to a lot of guys individually, and we had a good meeting as a group after the game and this week. So I just told them, put all your preparation and like you would in playoffs into every day, whether it's coming to the rink for practice, whether it's a stretch, whether it's your meal, your rest, everything. Let's just prepare for that first game on Friday. And with that being said, not overthink things. We're not trying to complicate things. We just come out and play our game and do what we've done all year. And like I said, do what we've done in this building.
You kind of mentioned it earlier about you guys have been in this position before of playoff position and haven't been able to get there. Is that do you have to remind these guys of that? Do you try to avoid talking about that? Or?
Well, I think it's each year's different. I think in years past we've had to work into that spot. We've been on the outside looking in. You're going to have some tough weekends over the course of the season. Unfortunately, last weekend was not great timing for it. But I think in the past we've pushed and pushed and pushed to get within range of catching teams, and then just haven't been able to do it. Every year you have different scenarios, whether it be losing guys at key times or what have you. So I think this year's completely different. I think our consistency over the years, we've had a couple little blips on the radar here, and last weekend's no different. And generally, when that happens, we have a good response our following weekend.